Welcome back to the Five. We're moving on to some 2012 news now before Bob jumps in here. Rick Perry seems to be everyone's #1 target. The pro-Bachmann super PAC, Keep Conservatives United is the name, has a new ad out, and it takes aim at the Texas governor's spending record. Let's take a look.
Rick Perry says he's one tough hombre on spending.
#1 is don't spend all the money.
But what's his record? Rick Perry doubled spending in a decade. And this year, Rick Perry is spending more money than the state takes in, covering his deficits with record borrowing. And he's supposed to be the Tea Party guy? There is an honest conservative, and she's not Rick Perry.
Them's fighting words. We got a response today from Governor Perry's office saying that Congresswoman Bachmann's front group ad is patently and provably false. Unlike Washington, the Texas budget is balanced, does not run deficits, and limits spending, even as Texas added jobs and population in big numbers. We asked something the other day, and I can't remember if it was in a break or not, and that was whether or not Michelle Bachmann was actually a good weapon for Romney against Perry. What do you think, Bob?
Well, yes, she is. I mean, look, Perry and she will split the same vote in Iowa, so that helps Mitt Romney. Neither one of them will do well in New Hampshire because New Hampshire's never been good to a caucus winner coming out of Iowa, and it's not a values-oriented state. When you get to South Carolina, it will make a big difference. Let me put it this way. By the time you get to South Carolina, only one of the two of them will be standing against Mitt Romney. And I thought her ad was absolutely brilliant. And I just have to add one little thing. I understand there was another email from Mickey Cannon's office directed to my friend Cannon, and it mentioned my name. If you want to have something to say to me, big boy, come on and meet me up here. I'll be happy to do it anytime you want.
But he was mad at me, not you.
I don't care if he's mad at you. He's a punk to do it.
And you'll have to get through Bob Beckel to get to me.
That's exactly right.
Andrea.
Yes.
The other thing we heard today about Congresswoman Bachmann's campaign is that she's decided not to be, well, her campaign is not doing as much in New Hampshire as they were in terms of on the ground. And you know that in New Hampshire, they don't like to be ignored. Like the folks there don't like to be ignored. Do you think it's a good idea?
It reminds me of the quote from Fatal Attraction. I won't be ignored, Dan. Remember?
Yes.
I think that she's looking at her resources and she's looking at the political landscape. And New Hampshire has not been typically a state that leans far to the right. It's more independent. But I do think that she should at least try and compete there. I do think, though, to Bob's point, I don't think Mitt Romney can sit back and afford to let these two fight it out. I think he needs to punch hard quickly. It's almost like he's running a re-election campaign in a blue state. I mean, he really is sliding.
Let's remember that New Hampshire allows independent voters to vote, and South Carolina does not.
But they both, Perry and Bachmann, both realize this is probably going to be Mitt Romney. He owns a house there. I mean, he's clearly going to take New Hampshire. Yeah, but I think she's smart. No, not everywhere, but there. I think she's smart. Save her powder for a fight.
Do you think that they actually practiced that question that McCain got wrong in the 2008 campaign? Remember, they asked how many houses do you own, and he flubbed it. Do you think
he didn't know what it was?
You think everybody else?
He just needs to know the size of the house.
But look, the problem with that ad, though, guys, is she's wrong. I mean, Rick Perry's Texas it's created 40% of the jobs since 2009, like it or not. Low tax, low rent, very business friendly.
You weren't here yesterday, and by the way, we missed you terribly.
Thank you.
And so did Perry miss you. And let me just say that how he got his balanced budget was he took $17 billion of stimulus money to do it. But I tell you, this is going to be.
Oh, now stimulus is bad,
There's
Bob?
There's three people left in this race, and the three of you we're looking at. It is Bachmann, it is Perry, and it is Mitt Romney. The other people, regrettably, Santorum and Newt and the Pizza Man are gone. And so I think this gets down to a question of who's going to split which vote. And from Romney's standpoint, despite the fact I think he should be, you're exactly right, he should be hitting out. The best thing to happen to him is let the two of them fight this thing out and divide up the TP.
We're gearing up for next week is Jobs Plan Palooza, because Governor Romney will have his out on Tuesday. The Republican debate is on Wednesday night, and then President Obama speaks on Thursday night. So, but there's one possible candidate who hasn't put out a specific jobs plan yet, but she is going to go to the World Economic Forum in Seoul, South Korea, October 11th, to give a speech. This is Sarah Palin. And, Greg, some people have wondered, does this mean, then, that she has decided to not run for president?
No, I think she decided that was a pretty good paycheck.
Do Do you think she's getting paid to go to the World Economic Forum? I mean,
I guess
there's nothing wrong with getting paid for
Don't
speeches.
you get paid?
Of course she's getting paid.
And if she gets in the
I would go there and speak. I wouldn't have anything to say, but I would take
Well,
their money.
good. You should join her. You should go there. You're about to do the same thing. I mean, Sarah Palin is speaking at South Korea on the Pacific Rim
But
issues.
she went there last year,
Are you kidding me?
too.
Maybe she sees it from Alaska too. I didn't
You
know.
make a good point, Dana. I mean, if you're going to go, if you're going to get in, you better spend every
We should just end on
moment
that
here.
note.
She
You make
can't
a
get
good
in
point,
at that
Dana.
point. It's past
Did you hear that, Cantor?
All right,
I'm on
coming
your
up.
side.
Okay, I don't want to fight with Eric Cantor.
Yes, you do.
Coming up, are unemployed Americans being unfairly discriminated against? Some lawmakers say yes, and they want new legislation to stop it. That story and more. The 5 continues next.